Good morning, everyone. I'm Annette Vanderveer with the Human Services Department. Welcome to our celebration of the National Senior Center Month. Thank you for joining us for this very exciting presentation, the showcase of our new senior centers on the horizon in DeKalb County. Our speaker today is Mr. Alan Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell has served as the Director of Community Development for DeKalb County since January 2016, and as the Assistant Director for DeKalb's Human and Community Development for over 10 years. As the Director of Community Development, he oversees the use of funds allocated from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to help develop the viable urban communities within DeKalb County, principally benefiting low to moderate income persons and families. Mr. Mitchell helped to create the nonprofit DeKalb for Seniors, Inc., and he also helped design, build, and obtain the federal funding to pay for the Lew Walker Senior Center in his role as Assistant Director. His recent accomplishments include the construction of 2 new senior centers in DeKalb County. Please welcome Mr. Mitchell. Thank you.
Oh, good, Annette, thank you. And I hope you can hear me. I'm gonna need feedback to see whether I'm communicating effectively and all. So good morning, all. I'd like to share with you a number of documents and to effectively tell you where we are with construction. As you know, community development, we do a lot of things, but one of my fun assignments is building buildings. So there are a number of buildings that we've actually been involved in. Typically, with the advent of federal funds, we end up running projects. And so I've had the pleasure of being associated with a number of projects, public facilities within DeKalb County that I visit occasionally and I love quite a few of them. There are several. So I'll get started with a PowerPoint, and I'm going to try to share effectively some pages in the PowerPoint, and I'll go to a video. We've created virtual videos for most of the projects under construction. There's a nuance we've created, which is to give you some sense of animation of what we're going to bring to you, and you'll see it far in advance, colors, shapes, styles, etc., and gives you a better feel for what we're doing. And then I'll share with you some construction photos to demonstrate kind of where we are in projects. But the advent of getting my architects to do these virtual realities keep us on track in terms of where we are. It gives everyone a perspective of what you're going to get as an end project. So first thing I'll do is see whether I could start sharing. And I'm going to share. I have lots of permission to share. And I'll come up. Okay. And is my screen visible? Can you see it?
It's coming up. I can see it coming. Yes, it is.
Okay. So the first thing I'll do very quickly, as Annette alluded to, the Community Development Department was instrumental in designing and building Lew Walker years ago. We provide the funding. This is 100% funded by federal funds from our department. And as you probably imagine, if those of you go to Lew Walker, I see Betty's on the line, that we continue to make investments in Lew Walker. The most recent investment were 4 new state-of-the-art classrooms. And when you get a chance to use them, I think you'll be excited about the layout and how they look. Also, we've added parking over the years to supplement this beautiful site. And this has become the staple of the benchmark for senior centers. It's a 40,000 square foot facility. And most people in the metro area are aware of Lew Walker, and it's a building we're very proud of. And you are too. I know you visit a lot. The population is fairly high in terms of who goes there. And the old saying is, we build it, they will come. So we didn't have a senior center in DeKalb County of this magnitude. So by adding Lew Walker, it proves that we can give back to the seniors, because if you're a senior on the line, you deserve a facility like this. You deserve all the amenities that others in the metropolitan area, for that matter, the United States, get to enjoy in your days to age in place. And I think by having a series of facilities like this, it makes us equal to, or even better than a lot of areas in the United States. So we'll start with Lew Walker. The next chart I'll show you is other centers that we have been able to build. And can you see the next slide? It's there, South DeKalb Senior Center. This is one of, this is a recent center on Candler Road that we built years ago, and that has a different design. It's next to the Scott Candler Library, and it's the flow of the building is also commensurate with the library that's next to it. And again, this is a facility that you can participate in. If you haven't gone there, when they open up again, invite those to join when need be. Human Services actually runs these projects. After we build them, we turn them over, and they run them effectively. They have great programs that seniors know and love, and is run very smoothly and effectively using the Human Services Department. The next center would be the North DeKalb Senior Center, which is one of the last recent facilities we built. And this is in Chamblee, and it's a very tight spot in terms of parking, but the flow of this is very nice, a very attractive building, and those that go there really enjoy visiting this facility center. It's in an area that the city also embraces occasionally, and we get along very well with the city of Chamblee. The next building, these are all buildings we built just to give you a sense when I get to the new centers that we're bringing online, that we've got a history of building buildings that end up being very successful in their use. And also they're always run by Human Services. So Central DeKalb Senior Center, this facility is in Mason Mill Park, and it's near the tennis courts and the fields and walking trails there. And the seniors there love it. It's a great facility, and it's run by Human Services, and anyone that goes there is very excited about the facility. All these facilities I mentioned so far, about 16,000 square feet, with the exception of Lew Walker, who's 40,000. So that's sort of a reference in terms of size. I'll add one more transparency of something else we're doing before I get to the centers that are being built. This building is under construction, and you might say, what does it have to do with seniors? Well, the Parks Department will run this. I'm currently building this building, which is Toby Grant. It's a 24,000 square foot facility in Clarkston, Scottdale rather, not Clarkston, in Scottdale. And it's on a very, very attractive location next to the Toby Grant housing project on North Decatur Road. And we're almost complete with this building. If I showed you construction drawings, it will look exactly like this. We're working on a canopy out front, but there's a huge gym, facilities for parks. When we finish this, it will be turned over to parks, and they will have senior programming and senior facilities inside the building. In addition, there's a library that would be up front, and the balance of the building will be dedicated to recreation. But they will have a lot of programming for seniors to participate. And I encourage you to come to the ribbon cutting. I'm scheduled to complete this building by the end of December. I was there the other day, and we go there weekly. I have meetings to ensure that the general contractor, along with my architect, is on point. But Toby Grant is a very exciting facility because it's geared for kids, adults, seniors. There's a track around the basketball court, which is huge. And the awareness to the outside is great in terms of lighting, the storefronts there. And most people have seen this, and very few I've given tours to because of the pandemic. I've been very excited about how it looks. So that's a building that you'll get a chance to participate depending on where you are. And the rec center is open to all. Again, it's going to be run not by Human Services, but by the Parks Department. So, so can I navigate to the video? I'm going to try to get out of this and go to the video. And if there are any questions about what I just covered, individuals can
put their questions in the chat. We'll go through them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to start the video and let me know whether Is it visible, the video?
No, I think you have to come out of this and then start your video. You may
Oh.
have to stop sharing and then share again with just the video.
Okay, stop sharing. Okay, let's go back.
And then start again with the video.
Okay, so what about that?
There you go.
Okay, thanks for that advice. Thanks for the guidance and all. So this facility I'm going to refer to is East DeKalb Senior Center at Bruce Street. And this virtual reality video will give you a sense for a major components in the building. We're not going to cover 100% of all the rooms, but I will give you probably 75% of the rooms. And then I'll do a drone flyover of the building to let you see what it looks like. This is a black and gray version of how the building's going to be. So I'm going to start the video and keep notes, and you can ask questions toward the end, and I'll explain kind of what's in here. This building is scheduled to be completed in the year of 2021, and we go on track to complete by the end of the year. So the first thing I'll do is I will pause it here. To the left, when you go there on Bruce Street, there are ruins there from the first school for African Americans back in the 30s that was there, and that building was subject to fire. And we're working with SHPO, this state historic preservation organization, to be able to bring it back to not usage, but to preserve the ruins in a historic manner. There are a lot of emotions that go through individuals that have attended the school. We do have individuals in the East DeKalb Senior Center at Bruce Street that attended the school back in 32. And so if you go there, it's in disarray with a fence around it, but the granite is still obvious. And we're working on a plan to be able to restore it and have it as a monument to visit. So when you go to the senior center, you're going to see that building to the left, which is demonstrated here, and then you're going to see the senior center. So we're working on both projects. The priority right now is to finish the senior center, but we have design components on the way to effectively get an acceptable plan to SHPO to let us provide something which is of historic nature in that area. As you approach the building, it's an attractive building. We elected to use a combination of granite from Lithonia, which is going to be on the front of the building. In all cases with seniors, we try to basically have a canopy so that when you approach the building, you don't get wet. So we were concerned about slipperage on concrete for the seniors. So you'll be able to drive up and to be dropped off either to bus or to your cars. And then the parking in this facility will be in the rear, not up front, but it would be in the rear. There's also a cemetery on this site. This was established with us buying community development 5 acres from the city of Lithonia to build a facility. And we did that some time ago. But there's a cemetery to the left. And when the building is complete, we will give individuals access through our parking to get back to see their loved ones. So that's a key component there. I'm working very closely with the mayor of Lithonia to ensure that that's done in an effective manner. If you go to the building so this is our frontage of the building. So you come in, the storefront is here. You see the canopy, and this is the simulation. It's almost like this now, but we've got the building erected already over there. And again, we're shooting to get this done by the end of the year. And this is September, October. So you can imagine we've accomplished a lot. So, but looking at the building, it gives you a sense for landscaping and also the entrance to the building. So you can see the granite would be here. That's Lithonia granite. You can also see the veneer brick is to the left. And also there's a metal framing to the left as well. The brick is going to be at the base, but in the front of the entrance, we wanted to get exotic with the granite that's from that area. As you go through here, this is the storefront. I'll show you photographs later on. The storefront is already in. We're currently installing the granite. The brick has already been installed, but the granite, the masonries are there installing granite. I was there yesterday and they're getting started. So this is the storefront. When you go in, it's set up so that you condition, preserve the air. So there are 2 sliding doors when you go to the storefront for the building. When you get in, actually, in terms of construction, that beautiful reception desk, we installed that about 2 days ago. It's already in place. Behind the lady that's there will be granite. Excuse me. We plan to put granite behind that. This building simulates wood, but we're using the Lithonia granite to effectively make it more attractive. And at this point, if you go to the left is where the multi-purpose room is going to be, and all of the classrooms are going to be to the right. And I'll take you to the whole building, but if you get there as a form of reference, if you're looking at the receptionist, the multi-purpose room is going to be to your left, and we'll cover that. We're in the video by coming back to that area. So as we go further in, it gives you a sense of the lighting, gives you a sense of the floor hangout. Okay, here is the lobby. It's a fairly large lobby. It's got outside awareness. In addition, it's got computer stations strategically put throughout the building, so you can get a terminal, use access to get emails or whatever you want to do on the terminals. This area also, we have lounge chairs, etc. The library is to the right. And there's a waiting area to the right as well, but there's a small library that's in the right-hand side. The other key point here is that there are restroom facilities up front, major restrooms in the back, but up front for convenience, there are 2 restrooms, one on the left and right of the receptionist that you can use. But the major restrooms are in the center of the building, which is accessible for all individuals that are engaged in programming. And so that restroom would be here to the left. That's a restroom to the left. This is the door you see. You continue to go down the hallway. You see there's a wellness room that we'll go to. We're passing the wellness room, and we're going to go into the fitness room. So this would be a room where we'll have equipment as displayed here. For those who like to get on the treadmill, the bicycles, etc. You can simulate exercise, etc. And spend a lot of time here. All the windows in these rooms are going to be high as opposed to being low to provide privacy. But this is and we will put furniture in these rooms that will be state-of-the-art equipment. That's part of my furniture budget. The budget for this building for furniture is about $300,000 that I'm setting aside for that. Let's keep going. Here's the door. As you go down this hallway, I'll pause right here. The restrooms are to the left, and they're central so that the men's room is on the left and the ladies' room is on the right. If you go down the hallway to the left, I'm not going to show you that today, but that's where they are. This will take you into an exciting room, which is used for dance and fitness, etc. There are lockers here, but it's for more of a dance concept with mirrors on the wall and lockers. We go out of this room and we go next to so at this juncture, we're going to go to this door, and it's going to be the billiards room and game room. But to the right, it would be a fairly large room for ceramics that the seniors wanted there. It's one of the largest rooms, just to the right. I'm not going to take you there, but if you went to the door to the right, you'd see that. But we're going to go to the door, which has the game room and pool table. And again, the outside awareness is there, but for privacy, the windows are up pretty high. and all. So we go back out of this room, and keep in mind that if we stop here, you can see up the hallway back to the front lobby. To the left would be the ceramics room. We just came out of the billiards room. And again, up to the far right will be the restrooms. That entry point there to the right will be where all the restrooms are. And we have lockers down the hallway. The IT closet is to the right with all the equipment for HVAC, et cetera. And we're going to take, you can see the computer stations are here on the left. And that door there is not accessible to enter from, but you can go out in an emergency. And the rooms to the left are just storage for various reasons. The classrooms are going to be to the right. And if we go through here, you can see that there are 2 classrooms with a partition in the middle. So this is a huge room. This video doesn't give justice to the size of this room. This is fairly large, and it's designed so that you can have it open, and there's a partition in the center, which allows you to close this off. But again, this room is considerably bigger in actuality than you see here. But there's H2O water at both ends of the building. There's closet space for storing things, and it's set up so that there are 2 separate rooms. This shows you it open, but we have a partition that's motorized in the middle to separate these to give you 2 separate classrooms. As we continue to go back, we're going to go back out of the, you see the furniture, and most of that's installed. We got those in. I was there again the other day, and all the doors are hung. The flooring is not in, the lighting is in. We're going to turn on power in a couple of days. But if we come back here, we're going back up toward the front lobby. So this hallway allows individuals to walk around the entire building if you choose to do laps, but you can do that by easily walking around. And the hallways are fairly large. They're about almost 5 feet wide or longer or wider as you go throughout the building. As you go up, we're gonna, from this point, I would say that strategically from here, the restrooms again to the left. You're going to find later on that the human services offices will be up where that gentleman is going. There's a way to get into what will be 4 offices for the human services staff on this hallway. And to the right, we're going to enter to the kitchen. That's a kitchen door right there. This will allow you to be able to go into the multi-purpose room. And this is the back of the multi-purpose room with storage to the right. That gentleman is in the servery area. So if you're getting food, you would be served in that area. And the kitchen is on the other side of this wall. There's a fairly large kitchen with a walk-in freezer with all of the stainless steel appliances for cooking, et cetera. This will also be able to be leased out to the community. So if you want to have a party of any weddings, et cetera, over here, you can rent it out. We have a huge commercial kitchen that you can use with all the appliances. And that's going to be one of the components of renting this building out the same way we did with Walker and other facilities. As you enter, you can see that the windows lower. You have outside awareness with the parking, because all the parking again is on the outside. This gives you a sense of the size of the room. There's paneling, wood paneling along the walls. And there's a partition in the middle of this room as well to separate the multi-purpose room into 2 separate rooms. So we typically have them open, but imagine having the ability to separate this into a small, quaint area where you can serve dinner if you had to near the kitchen, or have other entertainment on the other side of the room. All the tables will be round. We found that the best tables for seniors is to have them circular as opposed to square. It avoids a lot of problems. And so the furniture will be purchased in that manner. Again, if you look around, that's an exit door to the left. And the stage, which is up front, has handicap accessibility. I'll pause here. You can enter the stage from the left or the right, but it's set up so that it's handicap accessible. And in the back of the stage, there's a walkway back there, so you can enter the stage very easily. It's already installed, already done. So this is the stage. The lighting, the ceilings are very attractive. The lighting we have there, the height of the ceilings are tremendous to give you the sense of openness. So that gives you a sense of the stage. You can enter to the right. You can't go out. You can go out the doors in an emergency, but you can't enter the building from the exterior doors because of safety reasons. You can only come through the front entrance, but in the event of an emergency, you can always exit the doors for purposes of safety. And again, another view of the multi-purpose room, which will be used a lot for concrete mills, et cetera. And the door here is going to give us the ability to go back to the lobby. All the doors are attractive. They have glass as shown, and they're strong brown wood doors. This is the lobby again. And the storefront, we call that the storefront to the right. You see the way the lights are set up, very attractive. And the library is just to the far in the corner, next to that lady that's sitting there. And the lobby again is fairly large. So with that, we're going to leave the building to give you a sense of size. Going out of the storefront, past the granite. Again, the ruins will be to your right. And at this junction, I'm going to take you up with the drone to give you a sense of eagle's view of the building. And so we're going to go up, fly up a little higher, give you a sense of the building. We have rooftop units up here for HVAC, et cetera, but I'm really interested in those. Have to put those on the roof. But what I'm going to show you is basically something that's interesting. Take the top off and give you a sense of what's inside the building. Okay, so I'll pause here. So, in summary on this, you can look to the left where my cursor is. That's the lobby and the chairs that we're sitting about. This is the library where my cursor is. And there's a waiting area where if you're waiting for the bus or someone to pick you up, you can lounge in this area with refrigerator, food, et cetera, up here. The wellness room is here if you're sick, and there's a nurse there. Here's the fitness room. Here's the dance room. Back here, we have ceramics. I didn't take you to this room here, but it's ceramics. It's a fairly large building, but fairly large room. Here's the billiards. We went through that. Here are the classrooms. In the middle, we find that this is the kitchen. In the back, the kitchen area is back here. The human services staff will be in this center. There's a restroom here, a restroom there, but human services will sit inside of this complex here. And the kitchen is in the back. And in addition, the multi-purpose room is here and the stage. So that gives you a sense overall. And the parking is in the back, et cetera. There's no parking up front, but it's mostly in the back. So. And again, that's the receptionist in the storefront here. So that concludes the virtual reality tour for the East Cap Senior Center at Bruce Street. I know you're going to have questions. I'll take those on later. So yeah, same concept. I'm going to stop sharing and reload the next one. And that.
Yes.
Okay, so. Okay, so is it visible? The
Yes.
District 407, you can see it.
Yes.
Okay, so this facility is clinically called District 4 and 7 Community and Senior Center. It's on Elam Road in Stone Mountain. And this facility is being funded. We got a loan from HUD to build this building. And it's 24,000 square feet. So it's not 16,000, it's 24,000 because we have something that's very interesting. We have a 8,000 square foot addition for aquatics, which means there's a pool. And so like Lou Walker, we put a pool in, which is the adequate pool, but it's not as big as this pool. This pool is 75 feet long and about 30 feet wide. So that's a major addition to have an indoor pool within the facility within DeKalb County. So we're really proud about the addition of that to allow our seniors and also more importantly, the community. So you have youth, kids, et cetera, will be able to use this facility to swim. The library, as you know, we built years ago, but the YMCA runs the library. But this building will be county, it's our county owned, we're building it, and the community is going to be there. That's why it's a community and senior center. And so the design of this was put in position so that it would accommodate 23 acres, because we have the last facility I showed you was only 5 acres because that's on the land we could get there. But this has 23 acres because it's adjacent to Hairston Park. So we were able to use land that was owned by the county to put this facility on, which is a great addition to lower our costs. And so what I'm going to take you through is the design for the building. This building is under construction, and I'll show you some photographs later on of the status on construction, as well as going back to East DeKalb Senior Center, showing you where we stand with the construction for that facility. So we're going to start the tour. So this will be again, set up so that you have a canopy which preempts one getting wet coming to the facility. It's very important to have the buses to be able to drive. The storefront is similar. It's not higher in terms of height in this facility because there's more openness at the top. The height in the buildings are fairly large. They're over 20, 25 feet in certain areas. So there's a little bit more openness here. So you go to the storefront, and you can see at this juncture, look up, the ceilings are pretty high and it's open. We're going to use a CMU block concept in the building for purposes of the walls, et cetera, but it's going to be, again, very attractive and light in color. This is the lobby. And when I do this, some people think that this gentleman is Kobe Bryant, but it's not. He looks like Kobe. But this area would be set up. So this gentleman right here would be TV, of course, lounge area. The paneling in the ceilings are there. There's a library to the left. There's a rec area. I wouldn't say a rec area, but an area where you can dine. There's a refrigerator in the far right-hand corner, so you can get a snack, et cetera, as you wait for the bus to leave. But there's a library here to the left where you can sit and read, use a computer. It's glass open. This hallway would take you down to the back of the building, and I'll cover that later. But here's the multi-purpose room. You notice the multi-purpose room is on the right in this facility because the pool is going to be on the left. When I take you to the aquatics area, it's going to be on the left. As you come into the building, the receptionist will route you to the left to go to the pool, or to the right to go to the senior center. The senior center will be managed by Human Services, and the pool aquatics area will be run by Parks and Rec. So we have an agreement to have those two departments join in a partnership to run the building. And so if you in here, there's a stage, of course, and it's going to have round tables, as I indicated earlier. You can see the outside awareness with the windows, et cetera. This is going to be the same size as the one in Bruce Street in terms of the multi-purpose room. Again, we have the partition in the middle, which will allow you to separate the room into separate segments. So if you wanted a quaint dinner in the back, you could partition it off. The servery is in the back, where you see the individuals standing in the rear, and the kitchen is obviously on the back side of that. Excuse me. I slow down to give you a sense of the setup. The entrance to the kitchen is to the right. If you had to go back there, and that's storage for chairs, etc., inside the facility. When I come out of the multi-purpose room, we're going down the hallway. It's fairly wide. Restrooms to the left. Computer stations are along the way. And we're going to go into a classroom. This gives you a sense for the classrooms. It's similar setup where you have a partition, and it's going to be a lot bigger than this. This doesn't do justice to the size of it. You can see back up the hallway, the travel, the ingress, egress back up to the front of the building. If you look to the right, you have lockers, which you use. The toilet room. The next room we get into would be the game room, the billiards, etc. Hit the windows are lower to get outside awareness. We can use this for the ceramics, but also a classroom as a backup because it has water there. And as you go up the hallway here, this is a very interesting room, which is similar to the North DeKalb Senior Center setup where we have huge mirrors on the wall for dance purposes, and the floor will be able to float like we did up there. You see the lockers to the left to allow you to be able to store things coming out of the doors. Lockers along the hallway. There's a treadmill again, yeah, similar to Bruce Street, a treadmill for exercise. Interest to human services, and back to the lobby. So in the lobby, we indicated that to the left would be the aquatics. So if you're routed in the facility, you would have to go left to get to the aquatics area. So we have furniture in this area, and I'm going to take you to the locker room first and then to the pool. So coming in here, the ladies' locker rooms to the left, and their facilities back there. I showed them to you on a macro basis later, but the ladies are to the left. I'm going to take you to the men's room, which is men's locker room is blue. And so if you go in here, you can see that there's lockers for usage by the men. In addition, there are showers, of course, with aquatics. With a pool, you need to shower before you go in. We all know that. And then there are other restrooms that are here in blue. And bingo, we're at the pool. So you can enter the pool this way. There are two ways to get in, but the one way is coming out of the locker room. So this pool, again, is 75 feet in length, 30 feet wide. And see the arch in the ceiling. It's got lighting. It's got, it's up about 35, it's up quite a ways in height. But we have proper lighting. You're going to have 4 lanes. It's going to be a lap pool. You can do laps in this pool, and there's decking around it. It's approved by the state health department, but very attractive pool and very, very interesting and unique. So to the left, you've got all of the necessary components to run a pool. It's going to be a saltwater pool, and it will have a backup system as well, but it's going to be primarily saltwater. We made a decision to do that after a lot of research. The chemical rooms, the storage rooms are to the left, and there's an office to the left for the director for the pool, the lifeguards. The director will be sitting to the left. You can't see it, but along the continuum of facilities to give ingress, egress for the outside for anyone working on the pool, from pool mechanics, and to make it run effectively. And the office I referred to earlier was sitting to the left, so that someone can observe what's going on in the pool. And again, you can do laps. It's going to have 4 lanes in this pool. And I'll turn it around and show you how it looks in the back when you're coming in. You can enter the pool from the men's locker room or the females' locker room. To look to the right, there's an ingress, egress for females coming into the pool. And there's one for men in the middle, which is blue. And then there's a major entrance here to the left for individuals. You can see the outside awareness. You see the arch at the top to bring light into the pool area. And you can see that the ceiling has got an arch, like an oval approach to it, where it's curved. I would say curvature is probably the right term to give you curvature in the pool. Again, very attractive in my opinion. And so the other feature with the building is that we have an outside patio. And so all this will be glass open. It's facing west into the trees, and you'll be able to look in the pool, look outside, a lot of outside awareness. But there's also a deck back here that's going to be have a fence, so you can't get in here from the outside. And it's going to be rod-on railings. It's going to have tables and chairs, and you can see the glass, which gives you the ability to look at the pool, and we can get light from the outside to heat the pool. But more importantly, the pool is heated and it's salt water. Those are the key takeaways from the pool. The height of the pool is going to be 5 feet in depth down to 3.5. So I'll summarize: 75 feet in length, 30 feet wide. Salt water will be the component being used with a bromine backup system. In addition, it's going to be 5 feet, the deepest part, and the shallow part is going to be 3.5. And they're going to be 4 lanes for swimming purposes. So that gives you a summary of the pool. A lot of work to get that done, but with compromise from the team I work with, we came to an agreement on that. So again, you can take a look at the brick is going to be on the outside. There's brick veneer around the entire building, and it's very attractive. And what I'm going to do is open it up for you. It's using the same concept. It gives you a sense of what's in this building. Okay, so I'll pause right here. So a summary on the tour: if you're facing the building to your left, or in the back of the building to your right, let's take the approach of being from the rear of the building. From the rear of the building, you have the patio, and in the back right, you have the aquatic side here with all the rooms I talked about before. You have the laps. It's going to be at 4 lanes. We only show 2 here, but it's really four lanes you can swim in. The locker rooms are to the right. Female is to the right. Men are in the middle. Here's the entrance to the pool. The lobby is here. Going back to the senior center side, which is run by Human Services, you can see classrooms, billiards rooms, ceramics, dance room, fitness room, and the staff would be in the middle. You can see the kitchen areas over here, multi-purpose rooms to the left. So you face the building, the multi-purpose room is to the right, and the pool is to the left. And so that's sort of a setup, and the kitchen areas here. So it gives you a sense overall of the building. Again, 24,000 square feet for this building. Okay, so we're doing on time, 10:46. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is go to, I'm going to share. So I'm going to stop sharing again and then start over. I'm going to share. Okay. And it helped me out. Do you see, am I still sharing?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so can you see there's a transparency with, I'm showing District 4. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Anna, is that visible?
Yes, it is. It's
Okay.
visible.
Yeah. So these are the last couple of charts. So Again, District 4 Community Senior Center, here are a couple of shots. We have currently started construction out there. The site is to the left, and we've done a lot of work on getting the site prepared. All the trees are down, of course. We've got detention ponds in place, gravel, underground piping, etc. And we poured the bases for the pool. The gunite is already in, and this is a couple weeks ago. There's if you go there, you see a sign for Commissioner Bradshaw, because he's the commissioner sponsoring this particular project, and he sees you some site photos. Today, we've actually got the pad, the concrete slab. I would say 2/3 of it is down. You can see to the left the pool, and you can see that part of the concrete is down. We saw in the crisis of pouring concrete, and after that, all the plumbing has been put in, all the connections for water, storm water, and all the unnecessary things we have to get involved in, underground things that you need underside of a foundation to get them in place have done. A lot of the underground piping, etc., things that you guys I'm really interested in, but that we have to do to get compliant with codes, etc., to be inspected. And to the right is a picture of took yesterday of concrete that's been poured. We aren't through with the concrete yet. We still have to pour more this week to get the slab down. After the slab goes down and all the underground utilities are installed with the plumbing, PVC coming out of the concrete, then we start erecting steel. So that gives you a sense of where we are. This project is scheduled to be complete in December of 2022. East Gap Senior Center is supposed to be completed in December of 2021. So we've had this under construction, but once we get this pad poured and start doing steel, it's going to go relatively fast. It's 4875 Elam Road, off of South Harrison. I'm going to drive by. You can't go on site, but you can look at it from the street and see what we're doing out there. The next, which is the last transparency, would be where we stand with East DeKalb Senior Center at Bruce Street. The pictures to the left is the building is up. We're getting ready to put the Lithonia granite on the building up front. The canopies are not on. You can see the storefronts there, and a lot of it's already done on the inside. The roof is on, etc. So we've made a lot of progress with this. We're doing a lot of grading on the outside, but this is construction. You go out there, you get dirty. I'm out there all the time. It's fun for us to get this done. To the right is the right inside of the building. You face from the street. You can see that the brick, the masonry, the fake veneer is partially on, but the building is erect. We're doing the fire meters here, and also being able to get the vaults in for the fire department to make sure we have a backup for fire. Left is a picture of the inside of the multi-purpose room. So we're really in construction, and those videos I showed you will be equal to what we're building. You can see that petition is here, which separate the room, and there's a servery. The two guys in the back are the general manager and the superintendent. They're standing in the servery area of the building, and to the right is a storefront that has already been installed. So those are. Okay, yeah, so that's the data I want to share with you. So we're 10:52 in it, so we're open for questions if you want to take that approach. Okay.
Okay, yes, we do have several questions. I'm going to go back to the first. Will there be a scheduled amount of time to use the computers?
A scheduled amount of time. That's programming, and so far we have not gotten to that level of detail about the schedule, because we have several locations you can use. It's a first come first serve. In addition, you have hotspots, which is any place in the building is going to be hot. So whereas you can use a computer, you can use your tablet, you can use your phone, or you can use any other device you choose to bring it to the building, and you always have Wi-Fi capability. That's one feature. And then if you want to use those computers, there again, several of them there. I would have to work with Human Services to see whether there's a need for a schedule. But right now, we've not gotten to the level of detail in terms of scheduling. But I will say that there's not a spot in the building you can't use any devices that you bring in. We don't have the traditional classroom where you sit in with terminals are bolted to the floor. We have centers like that where you go in and you see 20 terminals and they're just sitting idle sometimes where people can go in. This is more dynamic and state of the art rather, where people have mobile access. So to answer your question. So, but if there's a need for a schedule, I'll work with Damon and team and Annette, of course, to put a schedule in place for programming purposes.
Okay. A couple other questions concerning the pool. Is there a handicap entrance to the pool, and what is the depth of the pool?
Absolutely. There's handicap accessibility. We wouldn't get it permitted unless we did that. We're looking at a lift where sort of like Blue Walker, there's a way to get you into the pool if you're handicapped, but there's a lift that takes you in and brings you out. We already have that set up. The depth of the pool, I covered that kind of quickly, but I'll go over it again. The depth of the pool is maximum depth is 5 feet, and the lowest shallow is 3.5. So it's 3.5 to 5 feet of slope for drainage. It's already in. So it's 5 going to 3.5, and the length is 75 feet by 30.
Okay. And I'm going to encourage people to put their questions in the chat so that I can read them. Another question has to do with the price to join the senior center. Will there be a price to join the senior center?
The answer is going to be yes. But let me explain it when I say yes and no. So the way things go in human services, this is not the aquatic side, because there will be a separate fee if you want to have memberships to swim and all that. But the seniors that are you referring to District 4 and 7, or are you referring to Bruce Street?
It does not say, so
Yeah.
I guess you can apply to both.
I'll cover both. So if you go to Bruce Street, there's not a fee to join. With the new facility, if you are not on the register and you're not getting congregate meals at Bruce Street, what you can do is call open pay, where if you come in as a senior wants to come in and use a facility and you're not getting a congregate meal, but you want to a lounge, enjoy yourself, and just partake of the building because it's new, there's probably a fee. The fees vary. Blue Walker is, I think, up around $112, but we have to establish a fee, which is probably less than $100 for each individual if you aren't part of the congregate meal program. So there's a fee to join. When you get to East DeKalb Senior Center, because it's going to be more like Blue Walker with a pool, et cetera, the fee, if you're not part of the congregate meal program, you would probably pay slightly more. The numbers have not been established yet. So there are two individuals that come to the facility. Those that just want to come and enjoy themselves, that are not getting a meal, and you want to use a facility, there'll be an annual fee, which is probably going to be, I can't tell you what it's going to be, but let's say an average number is $100. It's probably going to be less than Blue Walker slightly, but more than the average center that you go to because it's a lot bigger. But this annual fee of $100 is not onerous for individuals. I'm quite sure they're going to have scholarships for people that can't afford it. So there are two things. In terms of the aquatic side, that's going to be a little different because you're going to have individuals swimming almost 7 days a week, and they're going to be kids, et cetera. We have to work that out with the Parks Department in terms of how we're going to structure the fee schedule. But given that it's a federal building that we built, the numbers are going to be very, very inexpensive to make it affordable for everybody. So it's going to be very nominal in terms of costs, but there will be a fee. So if you want to swim on Saturday morning, there's going to be a schedule published by the Parks Department in terms of how you can use the pool. There's going to be a scheduled course of when you can get access to it. So all that has to be worked out, but
Okay.
any fees we have will be very inexpensive, extremely inexpensive.
Okay. And also, will there be access to Hairston Park?
The answer is yes. We're working on trying to get the access via trail, and we haven't funded that yet. They're asking me to consider funding that with federal funds, and we're looking at trying to appropriate funds to connect the senior center to Hurston Park. Now you can actually walk it. We've been, I've not walked it. My team has walked it between the two, but there's a non-functional trail back there. But we're going to make it more of a functional trail by having connectivity between the two. And that's our goal, to work with parks to get that established. So in the future, the answer is yes. Currently, you got to really be careful going between one location to the other because it's not laid out in a manner that you can go there. It's got some obstacles that you have to go around.
Okay. Well, we have one more question, and it's right at the 11 o'clock hour. And that is, are children allowed in the facility while the seniors are there?
Children allowed at this. That's a question that is an interesting one. I think aquatics, if kids have to be supervised when they're swimming, so it's going to probably require an adult to be there. Kids are there as to be supervised. We've not gotten to the mechanics of the programming for aquatics. If you're referring to the average use of a senior center with kids, kids tend not to be at senior centers unless they aren't preemptive, but they have to be supervised. And I'm quite sure I would not be opposed if a senior brought a kid there for an hour or for a limited period of time. But the programming is run by Human Services. Will have to speak to that. I know Gertha is on the line. I know that there are others from Human Services that are very familiar with the operations of that. And I've not been close to how we deal with kids in senior centers as of late. So I've got to yield the answer to someone on the Human Services side and all. But I do know that the community component of the District 4 and 7 is geared off of youth. And so we'll have to have access by youth. The issue is going to be how they're supervised when they're in the facility and all. So the youth are encouraged to visit the community and senior center where there's aquatics. As far as the senior center side, kids will not be probably allowed to go over on the senior side to play around, but they've got to be controlled and managed by some supervisor. But I'll yield a formal answer to the Human Services side when we get into heavy programming.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's very helpful. And we will have another meeting where we will go over, as time gets closer to opening, all of the particulars and questions. We had a lot of wonderful questions, and you had so many beautiful compliments on the facility themselves.
Oh, I hope that people are excited, and as I am, about the buildings. It's good to see a vision. I hope it helps to give you a visualization of what you're going to see, and it's good. And you have a vision, and then when you go there, you see it. This is what I saw as a vision, and it's a reality. So if you go to Bruce Street, you can see it's very close to what we took you through. And we can't give major tours. I've given some, but not major tours. On a limited basis, I've had people out there. I took Damon Scott through it yesterday. I've taken a couple of commissioners through it, but we will get in a posture where we can have more people go through before we get to the ribbon cutting and all. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you to Mr. Alan Mitchell today. And on behalf of our Board of Commissioners and our Director of Human Services, Mr. Damon Scott, thank you for joining us today, audience. This is our last day of the National Senior Center Month of September. So we thank you for serving, for coming and joining us every day that we had various presentations. And again, thank you, Mr. Mitchell, for your time. Everyone have a great day and a great afternoon.
Great. Thanks, Annette, and goodbye to everybody. Peace.
Bye-bye.